Hello students, in this tutorial we're going to be calculating some raster area in a park in Asia. So what we're going to do is we're going to first go find a shapefile of the park in Asia, and so we can do that by going to Protected Planet website, and we're going to look for Kaziranga National Park. So I'm going to click on this link, and you can see that we are in the website. I'm going to go ahead and click on the search button, and I keep hitting the wrong button. So then you're going to choose Kaziranga National Park. We're going to go up here to download. There's the park for you. And we're going to do SHP. That's shapefile. As you know, that's the file type for vector files that we prefer. This is a non-commercial use, so we're going to click on that. And you can see that down here we've got something to download, so we can click on download. It downloaded it to my computer. Now this is an important part. In some other labs we've been able to not unzip or extract the data out of the file. Unfortunately in this one we need to extract a file, so I'm going to go ahead and click on open file here, and this is just where it's located in my download folder, so you don't have to go that route. But you can see we've got it right here. I'm going to go ahead and right click on there. Sorry. It's still, let's go to, so I'm on downloads. Whew, you can see how I've downloaded a ton of stuff. I'm going to move this first. I'm going to move it into my GIS folder. Moved it into my GIS folder. Let's click on my GIS folder. And I'm going to scroll down to wherever it's at. Move this over so I can see it. And alright, so there it is. I've downloaded it a few times. You can see I right click on it, and then I'm going to extract all. And then I'm going to click extract. Okay, I can get rid of these now. I don't need them. Delete. Okay. And so if we go up here, we can see, I can get rid of that too. I've got the shapefile right there. WPDA. Okay. All right, next step is to go, and so that is a vector file, a shape file, and we want to play with rasters in this lab. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to back to our lab, and we're going to scroll to land cover data, and so this is at ESA. ESA is Ecological Science of America, and so we'll go ahead and click on that. And so we've gone to their website. We're going to click on data access, and we're going to go down. Once we're under data, here's data. We're going to go down here to World Cover Viewer. Click on that. And so as it loads, One of the things we need to do here, sure, I'll let it know my area. So what we're going to do here is we're going to need to register. So if you, I've registered, but if you click on register, it'll take you to a new page. Taking just a second. And you'll have to enter in your information here at that website and then register. And then you'll go back and log in to the website. So let's go back. So then you'll log in, enter your login information. All right, so hopefully you've been able to log in. First thing you're going to see is that there's a lot of different types of land cover. You can see that there's a legend to the right over here, and you can see that if we zoom in on our part of Arizona, you can see this is going to be Phoenix and Tucson, this red area here. We're right here. So we zoom in on our area. This is the Gila Valley in Arizona. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll go back to the instructions and we'll see that we need to select World Cover V1 2020. Okay, so we'll zoom back out and we'll change this to V1 and we'll click on that. Okay, so we've got V1. We're going to now need to zoom in a little bit, and let's remind ourselves where we're going. So this is down here where we're going to look into. Okay. All right, so we're just going to zoom in to this area. Okay. And what we're looking for is we want to search and locate for N24E093. Okay, N24093. So let's go back to search N24E093. N24093. Did I get that right? E093. Okay, download. So download. You may have to zoom out a little bit to see these boxes, but if you zoom out just a tad, you'll see these boxes, and this is what we were interested in. So I think we zoomed in and then we zoomed in. I needed to zoom out. So we want 093. So this is the one we want. We're going to go over here to download. Go over to the bottom here and you'll see that we've got a download that's available to us. We can click on to make sure that we can get the right colors when we do symbology in QGIS. So we're going to click on EIS World Cover, and we are going to look for QGIS on the symbology. So we did that. I'm going to click accept, and I am looking for symbology, right? So I'm going to scroll down. So if you scroll almost all the way down to the bottom of that page, you'll see that we've got symbology here. And we're just going to click on QGIS, and it downloaded a file for us that we're going to use later on in the file. So you're going to want to make sure that this is also in your GIS folders. So if you have it here, you can just move it over to your GIS folder, right? And I also want this information from the Terrascope loaded into my GIS folder as well. Okay. All right. So we've got that done. We can open up QGIS. All right. So I've got QGIS open. Just a reminder that you were extracted, and I showed you how to do that earlier on. So I'm going to go to my GIS folder. Here's my GIS folder. And so first thing I'm going to do is look for the WD PDA, WDO ECMO MAR 2025 public shapefile. I'm going to open that up a little bit. We've got another zipped file in here, and so we need to go and unzip that folder real quick. So I'm going to unzip that. Okay. And so we can see now that we've got that unzipped folder up here. Okay, so I'm going to shrink that back down. And we can see we've got it right here. And now I can pull in the shapefile. Okay, and there we go. All right, so this is the park that we're going to see. Ugly gold color. I don't like that. We also want to pull in our raster, and so we're going to go ahead and do that as well. And that is under the Terrascope download. Okay. And we are going to pull in world cover. You have to expand all of these out in order to get to the TIFF file. You want that at the end, and you're going to pull that in. Okay, and you can see now it looks like something like that. Okay, and so we've got a raster file. Rasters are made of pixels, and we've got a shape file as the two layers in our QGIS. All right, so what we want to do first is we want to use the park shapefile, which is, move this up so you can see that again. If I can get it, pull it down. All right, we want to use this to cut out our raster, which is this everything else. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do something called clipping. And we'll go to clip, and we're going to use clip by mask layer. Okay. So you click on that, a little double click there, and our input layer is cover, and then our other polygon layer is what we're going to use to mask it. Okay, so let's really quickly make sure that we're still on the right path. I got to back up. We already did all of that. So we downloaded that. We downloaded that raster. And we've got the input layer on top and the mask layer on bottom. So we're still good. Okay. All right. So what we want to do really quick is a few things. So we note that these two are correct. The other thing we want to do is down here, we want to assign a specific no data value. Okay, so we're going to put -9999. Okay, done. All right, it'll change to that. Okay, then we're going to go down a little bit further, and we're going to go to advanced parameters. So if it's like this, where the arrow is pointing to it, you want to click on it so that you've got this whole thing, advanced parameters, showing. We're going to change the profile to high compression. And then we're going to come down here to clipped, or the mask, and we're going to change it from a temporary file to a permanent file. All right. So what we're going to do is call this world cover. You can see I've already done this a few times. And underscore clipped. And then I'm going to click save. I'm going to replace the one I already have on there. And I'm going to click run. And I'm going to click closed. You can see that we've got a world cover clipped layer in place now. All right. Great. So we can actually get rid of the ESA file now. We're not going to use that anymore. So I'm going to remove the layer. All right. So next step that we have. So we've already done all of 5 and 6. We've removed the layer. And now we're going to reproject the layer. Okay. So what we're going to do is go over to Processing Toolbox. So you can hit Processing Toolbox if you've removed it. And so we're going to reproject. And we are going to reproject a layer. Make sure that that's what they want us to do. Reproject a layer. Okay. So we're going to do that. And so what is the layer that we're going to look for? Well, the instructions say that we really want to reproject it by searching for something called, where's it at? 46N. Okay. So we're going to make sure we're on the right thing here. What we're going to do is click on Select CRS, which is this thing over here. And up here, we needed to put in 46N. Okay, 46N. All right, and so what we're looking for is 46N, and we want this one. This is the one where it says 32646. Okay. All right, so we've got that selected. We can hit backwards on that. Okay, and you can see how it changed. The red area covered the entire planet. Now it's specific. It's a projection specific, a coordinate system specific to this area. Okay. All right, and let's see. Now we want to change the reprojected name to National Park _ reprojected. So we'll do that. So we'll go down here and we'll click on Save to File and we'll type in National Park reprojected. And since I have already done it once or twice, it's already there for me. All right. So I'm going to click Save. Yes, I want to replace it. And now I believe we are ready to click Run. Reminder, you want to make sure that this is a GPKG on there, and then we can click Run, and you can see we've reprojected our layer. Okay. All right. So next, we're going to scroll down. And then we're going to remove this polygon. So remove layer. Okay. All right. So now we've got two things here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to warp the layer a little bit so that it matches our area really well. Okay. So we're going to, under National Park Reprojected, we're going to right click on, we've already removed that layer, and so now we are going to reproject the raster layer, and we're going to use something called Warp Reproject. So, okay. All right, so raster. And we're over here in reproject, warp reproject. Okay, we've got clipped. And so in order to do that, we're going to, of course, make sure that's there. We're going to make sure that we're on 46N. And then we're going to do the high compression. So let's go ahead and do that. We're there. Okay. Project CRS. Got to choose our 46N, which is this one. Okay, so we've got that. All right, we want this to be a high compression. Okay, let's make sure that we've got everything right. That's nearest neighbor. We're set. We're high compression. So I think we're target. So I used source. So I need to change that. Put that back up to 0, and then the target is 46N. So the target CRS is 46N. Okay. All right, and so then we're going to go down here to the file. We're going to change, give it the reprojected to world cover reprojected. Okay. So we'll scroll down. Keep scrolling. Here it is. Save to file. And I'm going to do world cover reprojected. It's going to be a TIFF file because it's a raster. And then I believe we are ready to hit run. And you can see it hit run, did its thing, and we've got a new reprojected. So now I can get rid of the clipped file. So we're going to click on clipped and remove layer. All right, so we're moving right along. Now what we want to do is set the CRS for everything. So what we're going to do is on both of these, we're going to go on to world cover layer first, and then layer, we're going to right click onto world cover reprojected, and then click on layer CRS, and then set CRS from layer. So we'll go back to, so I clicked on that. I'm going to go to set CRS, set layer, where'd it go? There it is. Okay. And then set project layer from CRS from layer. Okay. Good. All right. Step 15 says that we should then go to we're going to click on world cover reprojected, and then click on properties. We'll do that. Properties. So I right clicked and I clicked on properties. Okay. So what we got here is a symbology. And what we want to do is change the symbology so that it makes sense for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on style down here, and then we're going to click load style. And if you remember, we downloaded an extra file from the ESA website. So we're going to go up here to load it. And so you got to go into your GIS folder. Oops. GIS folder. And you've got to find that that ESA file. So let's see if we can find that. So here it is, ESA World Cover Color Legend. Okay, and so this is what we're looking for: ESA World Cover Color Legend. So we're going to open that, and then we're going to click Load Style. You can see it's all nicely colored based on the different colors, so it works very well for us. We'll apply that and click OK. All right, so if we click on the reprojected, the little bound, you can see that it's got some things down here. Now we're gonna want to keep that, but we're gonna we're going to make our map based on this information here, but we're going to take it one step further beyond a map, and we're going to make a new spreadsheet so that we can use the spreadsheet in a statistical analysis later on. Well, you won't, but maybe some statistician will. So how are we going to do that? All right, so let's go back to our instructions here. So we already did all of that. We're good. We got that. We're all the way down to step 19. What we're going to do now is go to Raster Analysis, Raster Layer Unique Values Report. So we're going to create a report. So this is not going to create an image for you to look at. It's going to create a report for you to have. Okay? All right. So what we're going to do is click in Raster Layer Un in our toolbox. So Raster Layer Un. Okay. All right. And so this is what we're looking for here. Create a common raster. Nope. That's not it. Sorry. I think it was this one. Let's double check. Yes. Report. It's this one. All right. Great. So we've got a raster. We're going to make a unique number, a layer here. So let's see what it tells us to do here. Okay, so it's band 1. We're going to change the unique values to a table. So we're going to click Save, and class underscore area is what we're going for here. Okay, so class underscore area. And I'm going to click Save. Okay, double check. So we've got everything good. Open output file after running algorithm. We're good there. We're going to click Run. Everything's appeared to work. Okay. And you can see down here we've got a new area. And if we open it up, oops, I don't want properties. I want attribute table. We're going to open up the attribute table. You can see we've got these areas, but they don't have names, and that's not useful, right? We want a table with names. And we've got their area in square kilometers, and it's a huge number. It would be, square meters. It'd be better if this was in kilometers. In the United States, we use miles instead of feet, but in the rest of the world, they use kilometers instead of meters in this case. So we want it in meters, and we also want names. So that's our next task, is to add some information here. So if we go back to our instructions, step 21, you can see we got the right numbers. We're going to go to Field Calculator now and see if we can add the information that we want. So let's go find our Field Calculator. Field Calculator. There it is. We found our Field Calculator, and it's already inputted class area, which is what we want. Okay, and so now let's go back, look at the instructions. We need to put in the field name, area in square kilometers, so area underscore SQKM. And it says float. This is actually no longer correct, so we're going to have to do something different because float doesn't exist anymore in this calculator. So let's go back and see what we can do here. All right, so class underscore, was it class or area? I think it was area actually. So area underscore SQKM. All right, and this again in the instructions said float. We're going to change that to an we're going to leave it as a decimal double. Okay. All right, and so now we've got an expression, and so what we want to do now is, again, what we're going to do is change it so that we're no longer in meters squared, but we're in kilometers. Okay, so what we're going to do is take this expression, and it's available to you to copy and paste right there. Copy and paste that, and we're just going to, so this is, just so you know what it's doing, it's rounding, it's going to change meters squared into, so 1, that's the number 1, e to the 6th. Okay, so it's going to shrink it by 6 zeros. Okay, and so that's what it's going to do. All right, and you can see down here what the result is of one of the values, and so you know that it's working. If it's not giving you a number or an error right here, you know that it's not working correctly. Okay, so let's go back to this. Let's input our expression, and look, yay, we've got an expression preview. We know that it's working correctly. Now we want to put in a file name. What file name do we want? Class area square kilometers. Okay, so we will save the file, class area SQKM. Okay, and we'll click save. All right, and then we'll click run, and we can see that it completed. Over here we've got class area in square kilometers. Let's look at the attribute table, and here we go. We've got everything. And so instead of this really crazy big number, we've got something that's a lot easier, rounded to 2 digits. We don't have huge decimals, so much easier for us to understand that, right? We don't need this anymore. We actually don't need much of these other things anymore, but we do want a name to it. So before we erase these, the FID, we want to put in some names. So that's our next step, is to put in some names into this. So what we're going to do is go back into the field calculator, and we've got class area by square kilometers, so that's great. We're going to add a new name by, let's make sure we get the right thing we're supposed to put in here. We're going to put land cover in as the field name, and we're going to change this to string. Okay. Oops. Land cover. Okay. And we're going to change this to string. Okay. Good. All right. So now we need to know what to put into the expression for the calculator. So there's a whole heck of a lot. We're going to add names to these things, and so we've got the information up here. So when the value is at a certain level, then you're going to say tree cover and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to copy and paste all of that so we don't have to figure all of that out for ourselves. And we're just going to paste it in here. And you can see, so value of 10 is going to give it tree cover, 20 shrubland, and so on and so forth. All right, so now we just need to give it a name. So save the file. And what name did they want us to save it as? Class area with land cover. Okay, and underscores in between it. So class underscore area underscore with underscore land cover. Okay. And I believe that's what we were supposed to do. Yes. Okay, and I'll click save. All right, so I think we're ready. We've got a preview here that says tree cover, so that's probably working for us. And just looking over the results, it looks like everything's set, so we can click run. Okay, and we clicked run, and if we look at the attribute table on our new layer over here, we can see that we've got tree cover with everything that, and it's matching. But we don't need all of this. All we really need is this information right here now. So let's close that out and let's do something new. So what we're going to do now is called refactor fields. Okay, and we're going to make an Excel spreadsheet out of this. Okay, so let's go up here, and so we're in the processing toolbox, and we're going to type in refactor fields, and there it is. All right, so we've got a few things here. We've got all the stuff in our data, and we want to change things around. We do not need a lot of this information. So what I'm going to do is hit the control button on my keyboard. And I don't know what it is on an Apple, so you have to kind of experiment. But what should happen is this. When you click on all of these boxes, it should turn a different color. So I'm holding down the control button when I'm the whole time I'm doing these clicks. Okay, so you should have the control button on your keyboard clicked down. So when all of these are blue, you can come over here to the delete selected field, and we're just going to click on that, and you can see that we drop down to just those two fields, land cover and area square kilometers left. I do want to reorder this a little bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that by clicking on these down arrow buttons, and if I click on this one, you can't see it. Let me see if I can send it out a little bit here. All right, here we go. I want to reorder this, so I want land cover up here, and I want square kilometers on the bottom. So I'm going to do that simply by clicking on the down arrow and reordering those. So now you can see that by clicking on those and reordering them, I've got land cover on top and square kilometers on the bottom, and I'm good. Okay. All right. So now what we want to do is very quickly make sure that these are correct. Okay. The type, because I changed these, the data type could have an impact, so we got to make sure that we're right. And so I changed those, so I need to change this to string and this to double. Okay, and if we go look at our instructions, they all did the same thing. You can see that this should be double and string, double, string, so we're good. All right. So what we need to do now is put in park area by land cover, and it needs to be an XLSX file. Okay, that's an Excel file. All right, so let's make sure we do that. Okay, so load fields, this needs to be class area land cover, so let's make sure that that's there. Class area land cover. Okay, we've changed that to make sure that that's correct, and we're going to create a new file. And the file name park area by land cover. Okay. Park area underscore area by land cover. There we go. And then we need to change the type. Remember, it needed to be a XLS, and that's right there. XLSX file. And so now it's park area by land cover, XLS file, and then we can click save. Okay, and then we can click run. And we don't have any red errors or anything, so that means we did it right. And if we come over here and look at the attribute table, we can see we've got park area by land cover right there. So that's pretty dang cool. And if I wanted to take that out into the real world and have an Excel file, I would just export that. Actually, let's see, it's probably already out there. Let's see where it's at. We can check where it's at by looking at the path right here. And so this is I made a path to my GIS folder Park 9. And so I can actually go look in my GIS folder for it, and there it is, an Excel file. If I open up that Excel file, there it is. And now I can use that in like a report or something. So anyway, with that being said, what we'll be turning in is both that Excel file and a map, of course. Okay, so let me get this out of here. Trying to get it centered here. This is a little big, so I'm gonna adjust this so that I can fit it into my screen. And now I'm gonna make my map. Okay, so as you know, what you do is go over to projects, new print layout, click OK, add item, add map. All right, a little off center here, so I'm gonna move it just a bit. There we go, and let's see, let's add a label. And if you remember, the name of this park is something I personally cannot pronounce, so I'm going to go find the name of the park. There it is. So I'm just going to copy and paste this into my QGIS map. Okay, and then I can adjust the font size. Let's make it different. I'm getting tired of this type of font. Let's do something a little more fun. How about that one? And let's adjust the size. There we go. And it's more than just a park, right? So I actually should put land cover on there, okay? And then let's see, let's add a legend. So legend, I'm going to put it down here just because I want to. All right, so I got way too much stuff in here. I do not need everything, so I am going to go over here. Remember to click on auto update to remove that stuff. To get that stuff, I'm going to move this up. Okay, and I'm just going to click on the things I don't want and hit minus, minus, minus. And I don't need that. All right, so to get rid of this stuff up here, you could just retitle it if you wanted. I want to get rid. I'm just experimenting here. So the cover type could go away, and I've got cover type up here. Realign this a little bit. Okay, there we got cover type. Let's put in a north arrow. Let's do something different from what we've... Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to delete that. Oh, actually, you can go over here and change it. So we're going to go over to arrows. Let's do something a little different. Let's do this, and then I'll need to fill color a little bit. There we go. So I've got my north arrow. It's a little big. I think I might make it smaller, and I might pull it down here. Maybe up here. And now I want a scale bar. And you can see this is in kilometers. I really like so I'm on a scale bar. I really like it when there's a double box. I don't know, I just like it. So you can expand it out just a tad if you'd like. You can increase the distance if you want to 2 kilometers. So, okay, we're in kilometers. Okay, good. All right, so I think I am done. Let me just put that in here. And I'm going to then make my export. And I'm going to call this Klein Park Land Cover. And then I can click Save. And there's my PDF. Okay. All right, so that's your next task. Okay, have a great day.